Give your body some love and flow with me for 2 minutes. Walk it out all the way to flat. Push up to cobra, stretching through that lower back. Gently come back down and bring that left knee up to 90 degrees and flow up to cobra, back and forth for a couple of reps. Now let's do the other side, right knee at 90 degrees and flow through cobra for 2 more reps. Now let's push up to downward dog and walk those calves out for 10 seconds. Now bring the left foot outside that left hand for a deep lunge and push on that knee to stretch through that TFL and glute. Back to downward dog, and let's do that right side now, feeling that beautiful stretch through the glute. Back to downward dog. Drop the knees into tabletop. Now let's flick those hands around, fingers pointing back towards you and pulsing back and forth, stretching through those forearms and wrists for another 10 seconds. And swap around so your palms are facing up, pulsing back and forth, stretching further through those forearm flexors. Now jump those feet up to a nice wide stance and sink back down into your straddle and perform a pancake side bend, floating from one side to the other, stretching through that QL and obliques as well as the hamstrings for about 20 seconds. Now bring those feet into touch for a butterfly. Extend those arms straight and hold for 10 seconds, stretching through those outer hips and inner hips. Now shift your weight back, plant those feet and sit in a deep squat. Let's finish with 20 seconds of our deep squat arm raise, practicing holding that upright proud posture, keeping the feet flat on the ground and knees nice and wide. Comment the word love if you want a structured mobility program that you know will give you results in a matter of days. All through my new app Elastify, the only tool you need for pain-free living. You are only as young as your spine. 3 things you need to focus on if you want optimal spinal health and long-term mobility and freedom of movement. The 3 key things to focus on is rotation of the spine, lateral flexion of the spine, and flexion and extension of the spine. And there are many different exercises you can do to target these key areas, but here are 3 that I've been really loving at the moment. Butcher's block thoracic arches, pushing your belly button in towards the ground and then flexing your spine up towards the roof. Your elbows should be shoulder width apart on the bench and your fingers pointing towards the roof. Tabletop chicken wing rotations, tapping that elbow towards that planted hand and then opening up like a book towards the ceiling, feeling a beautiful rotation through that spine. Straddle legs, side bends, with your hands on head, laterally flexing the spine side to side. Stay nice and tall and aim to touch that elbow on the ground. If you can't, that is okay. Go within your own limits. And comment the word movement and I will put your name down for my 30-day pain-free mobility challenge starting March 1st, along with 1,000 others. 3-minute or less squat rack mobility, starting with 30 seconds on each side of our leg swings to open the adductors and those hips. Place your bum against the rack, take a step forward, and now we do our Jefferson curls, pulling yourself inwards at the bottom, compressing the body, lengthening through the hamstrings, and decompressing through that lumbar spine. Make sure you keep your legs nice and locked to protect the knees. Now getting into 30 seconds of our horse squat, using the cage for some support and going as wide as we can, pulsing up and down, getting deep into the adductors and inner thighs, getting ready for our next mobility movement. Now that we're nice and loose through those inner thighs, we're going to hold our middle split here nice and active, keeping those toes pointing forward, feet flat on the ground, and squeezing those legs to protect the knees once again, strengthening and mobilizing at long muscle lengths. Finishing with 30 seconds of our pancake lateral side bends, opening further through those hamstrings and adductors, as well as lubricating through that spine. Try this flow as many times as you like. I usually do about 3 times through and my spine and hips feel absolutely amazing afterwards. And if you'd like to get into daily mobility with my app Elastify, comment free and you can start for free for 7 days. I will assign you a hip mobility program that you can tuck right into straight away. It's day 9 of 10 where we are diving deep into these 10 of my favorite at-home mobility exercises, relieving you of full body pain and stiffness. Let's focus on the cat-cow. It is an absolute game changer. Inhale as you arch your back, lifting your chest and tailbone for spinal extension. Then exhale, rounding your spine, tucking your chin and pelvis for full spinal flexion. This movement improves spinal mobility, reduces back stiffness, and enhances core activation. Practicing this regularly will also lubricate your joints, particularly through the spinal column, improve posture, and help counteract the effects of sitting all day. It's so important to practice spinal flexion and extension because majority of our day, our spine is in chronic flexion and remains inactive for such a long time during the day, which causes stiffness and back pain. So practice this to activate and stimulate blood flow through your spine and increase mobility and freedom. Just a few sets of a few slow reps daily can make a huge difference in how your body and spine moves and feels. If you find yourself having poor spinal mobility and stiffness in that lower back, I can promise you that I can help you get rid of that within 30 days. Comment the word movement and you can join my 30-day pain-free movement challenge starting 1st of March. Comment movement, I'll DM you right now, and you can use a special discount code. Over the next 10 days, we are discussing these 10 at-home mobility exercises to reduce full body stiffness and pain. Today we are diving into number 3, our pigeon good morning. Now there are many different ways to slice a pigeon, but this one here is an absolute classic, targeting the deep glute and piriformis muscle and strengthening it at the same time. Improving hip external rotation, which basically means when the thigh bone rotates outward away from the body's midline, making the knee and foot turn outward. And by practicing your pigeon good morning, you are improving your hip external rotation mobility, strengthening through a full range of motion. Do this consistently and you might even find that it reduces sciatic nerve compression and improves lower back pain symptoms, because stiff hips can force the lower back to overcompensate, which leads to pain. Try doing 3 sets of 10 reps each side, and stay tuned for tomorrow where we dive deep into number 4 of 10. And comment the word love if you want to join my new app Elastify and reduce your pain and stiffness once and for all in a matter of days, along with a huge community behind you, supporting you every day of the week. P.S. Use code Valentine at checkout for 25% off. It's the season of love, so love your body with me this month.